So basically, you turned up in ancient Egypt. Here's some tiers. Tier 1, the upper class, the Pharaoh. Not a king, a living god. Basically, people with unlimited power, ridiculously good food, and look on their face like they know something you don't. Tier 2, priests, scribes, nobles, the people who actually run the country while the Pharaoh gets worshipped. Tier 3, everyone else, farmers, laborers, basically all of Egypt, and statistically, that's you. You live in a mud brick house next to a field. Your whole year is scheduled by a river. When the Nile floods, your land vanishes underwater. When it drains, it leaves black soil so rich the Egyptians named their country after it. You farm that soil, you hand over a cut to the state, and you eat bread and beer for basically every meal. Not as a treat, as the whole diet. Here's the part everyone gets wrong. When the flood comes and there's nothing to farm, you don't get the season off. You get drafted. It's called corvée labor, and movies leave this out, you are not a slave, and you are not in chains. Archaeologists found the actual workers' town at Giza, bakeries, breweries, a medical clinic with evidence of set bones. Workers were organized into teams with names like Friends of Khufu. They were paid in bread, beer, and meat. So the pyramids weren't built by slaves. They were built by farmers with nothing else to do for 3 months a year, fed and housed by the state, building the biggest structure on earth because their king said it mattered forever. Now, if you'd rather not haul stone, there's one way up. Become a scribe. Scribes skip labor and taxes. Scribes can read in a country where almost nobody else can. The training is brutal. One surviving tech says flatly, "A boy's ear is on his back. He listens when he's beaten." But if you make it, you just skipped 2 social classes in 1 lifetime. Everyone in the middle and top is obsessed with one thing, the afterlife. Not as a comforting idea, as an actual project. If you can afford it, your organs get removed, your body gets packed in salt for 40 days, and your brain gets pulled out through your nose, because they knew the brain did nothing important and assumed you'd need everything else. Then your heart gets weighed against a single feather. Too heavy with sin, and a monster named Amit eats it. No heart, no afterlife. Forever. People genuinely feared this. It wasn't a bedtime story. Meanwhile, being Pharaoh isn't the easy ending you'd think. Every hour of your day is locked into religious ritual because priests insist the sun only rises if you perform your duties exactly right. You don't run the country so much as get welded to a job the entire universe supposedly depends on. And here's the uncomfortable part. You'd assume the god king had the best life and the farmer had the worst. End of story. But Egyptian women, in any class, could own property, run businesses, and file for divorce. Rights most of Europe wouldn't grant women for another 3,000 years. And those farmers on forced labor? Court records show workers at the Valley of the Kings staging what may be the first recorded labor strike in history, walking off the job when their pay was late. Before you start planning your move to 2500 BC, a reality check, average life expectancy, 30s, no antibiotics, parasites in the majority of examined mummies. Tax evasion could mean a beating on the spot, no trial. So here's the actual point. We got the pyramids wrong, not because we're bad at history, but because a chained, whipped workforce makes a better story than the real one. An organized, paid, seasonal labor force that built something they believed would outlast everyone, including us. Which means the biggest myth about ancient Egypt was never about Egypt. It's about how easily we trade the true version of history for whichever one is easier to believe. If you like this, go watch our video on why a medieval peasant had a better work-life balance than you do. Subscribe for more uncomfortable questions about the world we think we understand. And tell me in the comments, Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3. Which one do you actually survive?